can invite also your student. Your student in your lab.
Yeah, maybe next.
I don't know how many person can join with us, but I think more than
I think it's
100.
300. I think it's 300.
Yeah.
300 usually. So we just hold on a moment.
Hold a moment, Pak Hari Devianto, please. Wait a moment, Pak Hari. Thank you very much for your
Hari.
This maybe Pak Hari as old as you, Dr. Mian. The old, He's now about 40 years old. I am now about 70 years old. Already 40 years in the service.
You are a senior researcher. Senior researcher.
I hope I'm still healthy to go to Hangzhou again to see Asian Games.
Oh, actually, I sent a call for participator for the next year Younger Scientists Symposium. So you are welcome. You bring your students and your friends who involved in the wasteful energy. All of them are welcome. I will try to get the budget from Chinese government in our university. I think it's a high, possibility. Maybe I can get a huge budget for these activities. China promote international cooperation and exchange ideas. Oh, how many? 63.
Yeah, wait for a moment. We are waiting for Ben. We are waiting.
Do it. Oh, I watched Joko join. Joko, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Actually, where are you now?
Yeah, long time to see you.
Yeah, long time. So I say one thing is to do it. Maybe can you during the presentation can hold the microphone and then keep silence for other participators.
Yes, I will
now some music coming.
Yeah, it's time for what you call it, the invitation for pray.
Okay.
Yeah, just few minutes and maybe 3 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, I understand the situation.
But we can make a mute. Mute.
Yeah, time is ready. So the host, Professor Harry.
Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Associate Professor Mian and also Associate Professor Hari Devianto, and also friend of mine. I cannot see who are you from our screen. Thank you very much for your attention to attend this lecture. This lecture actually regular lecture every Monday afternoon and also every Thursday. Every Thursday noon at noon. For several time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, the lecture will be given by Dr. Mian concerning with experience in waste to energy development in China. Before I proceed with the lecture, I like to invite Pak Hari, Dr. Hari Devianto, as the chairman of our department to give a speech. And I also invite Pak Walmiki, Dr. Walmiki, but he will give a speech at the end of this lecture then end of afternoon. He is now still in the meeting. Pak Hari Devianto, please give some
Okay.
word to welcome our friend from Zhejiang University in Hangzhou. Please, Pak.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Harry. So, welcome to, even though it's not actually in Indonesia, Dr. Mian, but still you will have experience to have interaction with Indonesian students. For sure, most of the time, like when Pak Joko or Pak Dwi visit Zhejiang University, you already know about Indonesian, right? So hopefully you will share the experiences in waste to energy development in China to our student here. We really appreciate your time for giving the lecture. For this one is similar with 1 credits for our specific course, in this case thermal conversion of biomass. And again, thank you very much, because it's not so easy to find a foreign researcher that want to share what they have done in their home countries, particularly when they have succeeded in details and want to share their experience to our student. So hopefully our student will have a lot of knowledge. They will have a new perspective regarding with this technology. Okay, without further ado, maybe I will return to Prof. Harry, so you can start the lecture. Thank you again, Dr. Mian.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hari. Dr. Mian, may I say hello, welcome to my friend in Indonesian.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Ya, terima kasih. Ada teman-teman lama semuanya dari non jauh di sana, from the end of our country, from the west to the east. Saya tidak dapat menyebut satu persatu. Terima kasih sangat terima kasih bisa menghadiri ini. Dan mohon dicatat, please take a note that the lecture will be given in several times. The first time it is this afternoon, the September 20, of the topic development of waste to energy in China. Dr. Mian would like to share with you the whole picture of the development. And then after, Dr. Mian will explain small by small and a little bit deep. It is in September 23 about how to sampling and how to make analysis of the properties of waste, municipal solid waste. And September 27 and 30, how incineration developed in China. We will see, I hope, we will see the manufacturer there, how to make it, incinerator, etc. And October 11 and 14, Dr. Mian will explain the design and calculation of the boiler, especially boiler put in the waste incinerator. We must not ignore, we must not forget about the pollution. It will be the lecture on October 25 and 28. It is always Monday and Thursday, yeah? And of course dioxin. It is also very important. I do not know what is the dioxin, how to avoid the dioxin, how to handle with dioxin, but we hope we can learn from Dr. Mian. And the last lecture on November 4, Dr. Mian will explain, will show the experiments, the research on wet waste. What is the wet waste? Waste with a very high content of moisture. Yes, I like to again welcome to our friend, all of you, and Dr. Mian. Please take your time and you may introduce yourself. I'm sorry, I cannot introduce you because if I introduce you, what I remember that your team in football last time lost to our team. The team from East Asia lost in football from the team Southeast Asia. That's what I remember until now. Okay, that's yours
Okay.
now.
Thank you the invitation from Professor Harry, and thank you the speech, the welcome speech from Professor Harry. So it's my pleasure to be here. I think I can recognize some friends also join this, how to say, literature. So now I will share my PPT. So hold on.
Yeah.
Teman-teman, kita tutup kamera dan
wait a moment.
kamera dan mikrofon kita supaya tidak mengganggu jalur lalu lintas data.
It gives me looks some problem. Wait a moment. So can you watch my PPT?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so sorry, hold on. Yeah.
Now I see your screen. Yeah.
So how about now?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so wait. So I will start, Professor. Thanks.
Yes, please.
Again. So today I will share my knowledge about the waste to energy technology in China, especially the application and experience. Today I just introduce the general information. Later I will go to the detail. So hope you can understand the whole page of waste to energy development in China. Actually, I already said will collaboration with Professor Harry and ITB. I faced Indonesia, go to ITB, I think 4 or 5 times. We have very, very good memory for my stay in Indonesia. Of course, I also invite over 10 students visit our universities. So I'm glad our cooperation goes well. And today I think it's completely new kind of our cooperations. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Mie, as introduced by Professor Harry. I work on waste to energy, especially hydrogen production by water gasification and pollution control during waste incineration. I published over 80 journal papers in some hierarchy journals. Actually, I'm I'm in Hangzhou, our university, located here, and some students or some participators maybe know us. We have over 2020 years history. The population is 11.93 million at the end of 19. So, and we also famous for the West Lake and the production of silk, green tea. We are also an intelligent city. Now we almost can call we are free cash city. That means always in our daily life we use Alipay or WeChat Pay. We don't need to use cash because Jack Ma, the Alibaba company, they are found in our cities. Another, I think the connection with Indonesia because last Asian game, I think is conducted in Jakarta. So next year, the Asian game will organized in our city. Actually, one game will be in our campus, just close to my office. About our university, our university called name is the Zhejiang University of Technology, founded in 1953. Now has 4 campuses with huge areas, and we are comprehensive university, top 60 in China. And we also international universities. We set cooperation with over 100 countries. Of course, Indonesia is a very important partner. Yes, this is my research members. We have postdoctor, PhD student, and master students. This is the present members. I think they are three from Indonesia, Dwi, Dika, and Haluya. And these two guys from Pakistan, this from Thailand. And I also have trained some students great from my team. I think Joko stay 1 year. Bio is the first one cooperated with me, Indonesia students. And of course, we have Antoni, Aisha, and Danny, Patrick. So I'm glad to stay with them and do a lot of international cooperation in research in student education. So Professor Harry is the main important partner in the researchers. Yes, before I introduce the waste to energy development in China, I will spend 2 or 3 minutes introduce my research work. So my work can divide 4 subtopics, including the incineration and gasification of MSW, means municipal solid waste. The second is software word gasification for wet bio waste. As Professor Harry explained, wet waste means high moisture, and after gasification, we have to clean the syngas to improve the quality. So mainly is capture CO2 and H2S, and the last one is pollution control during WTE. So you can understand biomass or bio-waste, by gasification to raw syngas, clean up, get a high value syngas. So we have analyzed the different materials, temperature, additive affect the production of syngas. So this is our reactors. We can get 3 phases of the products, including the syngas, char, and oil. From these figures, you can find CO2 is very high in the syngas. So almost half or 30%. And also H2S, SO2 exists in the syngas. So we have to, this is just combined with the industrial. So we have to capture CO2 from the syngas. In my research group, we have 2 methods. One is DES. Actually, this work is done by Indonesia student. His name is Haloya Wibawa. So we produce syngas from SWG. Then we use the DES to capture CO2. We analyzed many factors, including the pressure, temperature, the water content. For my general conclusion for DES, dynamic of absorption is very high, so it's very good for continuous absorptions. And we also use MOF, Metal Organic Framework, to absorb the CO2 from the syngas. We use the COBDC, and we also do some modification. We research the synthesis parameter, operation parameters, and we get the results, the influence of different factors. And we also do the H2S removal from the syngas. This work is done by an Indonesia student from ITB. His name is Dika. Maybe he have a longer name, but usually I call him is Dika. The advantage of the technical theories, the absorber is can works at high temperature for the syngas. As Professor Harry introduced, my literature will have 7 times today is the first time. So the title have introduced. I not repeat again, not yet. So I just directly go to the content of today. Today I will introduce the 5 parts of my presentation. The first is waste generation, the challenge for the living, for the environment, and the second is the waste to energy development and application in China. The third, I think all the public really concern the problem of not in my backyard. So I will share Chinese experience how to handle the fourth is the law system or the management for WTE development. The market of WTE not only depend on the technology, also depend on the laws, standards, regulations. And the last one I will share in my personal idea what's the challenge of waste to energy sustainable development in for the developing countries and in China. So here we can see the society or the economic developed very well since 1990s. The urbanization can increase, right? So 1990s and 2040s, and we will have a sustainable development. But unfortunately, during the urbanization development, the waste generation for persons also is increased. So how to say, as now as I get the information from the web, Indonesia is 54% urbanization and China is 60.6. But I believe we will keep developing in the coming years. So with the development, the municipal solid waste generations for the whole world, roughly is 2 or 1.9 billion ton every year, and with almost the 30% not will or completely collectors. And this is lock. Actually, if you look to the web, you can see it jumping. For China and Indonesia, we can watch these figures. Both countries, the MSW, municipal solid waste, increase every year. And in the end of we just say in 2019, China produced 242.1 million tons, and Indonesia generate 68.91 million tons, and still keeping increasing every year. So the amount of MSW we have to thinking how to dispose. Actually, the SMW usually increased with GDP development. I only found the case unusual is Japan with the recently Japan economic increase, but MSW is decreased. I think we have to learn the Japanese style how to reduce the MSW generations. For the usually we have to calculate the waste generation means every day. Why this data is very important because different country the population is different, right? So we usually have to calculate this value. This value also is very important for you decide the MSW disposal facility. That means, okay, usually tell me what's the population of this city, and then I can calculate roughly how much amount of MSW every year, every day. So I can set the capacity of waste to energy plant. So this is very important. From here, we can say the economy is good, the waste is more. And of course, China case is like here. China is 0.78 kilogram per person per day, and Indonesia is 1.38. This just for the citizen. Of course, in China, the east city will be higher. In Hangzhou, usually we calculate as 1 kilogram per person per day in Hangzhou, but in the Tibet, maybe it's lower. And the municipal solid waste is very complex, the compositions, and is also will happen pollutant and toxic component, and variation with time and location. This is a challenge for disposal, right? So every city, every season, maybe is different. So we should thinking how to treat and how to dispose this changing waste. The waste everyone I think don't like, right? It will occupy the land, will pollute the water, also was your living environment or living levels. But the problem is the factor waste amount increase every year, and we have not enough land or source to treat the waste. We cannot dumping, right? So how to deal with, especially for the developing countries? So there are some definition I want to explain. First is disposal. Disposal usually means the final disposal or just like the landfills. And the recovery, we have different kind. Recovery, we can recover the material, such like gasification or carbonization. We can say yes, recovery the materials for the carbon. And we also can recover the energy. So waste to energy, we produce heat, we produce electricity. We can say also belong to the recovery, the use, of course, the use of a product. Maybe we just sell the two-hand products, right? Usually your book, the senior student book can sell to the refugee student, right? This is called the reuse. For the accurate, so usually we should follow these, like first we should try to prevention, and we try to reduce, reuse, recycling, then recovery. The last one is disposal, or maybe some is dumping. So yes, we should follow this. So, but unfortunately, usually recycling is a high cost. Even the cost for new materials, so will be high cost. So that's why the recycling cannot well develop in many countries, especially or particularly in China. And actually, I have another page slides about the recycling, but I detect maybe you read some news. China already banned the import of recycling waste from the developed countries, such as some before 2016, China import the plastic, the waste, the paper from USA, from Canada, but China banned, and then this waste go to the Philippines or South Asia. So I want to say recycling don't mean how to say export or move. So and the placenta, the main technology for municipal solid waste disposal, including the landfill, composting, digestion, and waste to energies. But for the municipal solid waste, usually is landfill and waste to energy. I will explain later, because composting and digestion need the land or will produce all the smells. Especially composting is not suitable for the city. Usually in China, yes, in the village area. So I will show you later our experience. Now waste to energy, yes, can quickly reduce the mass, volume, right? And it can produce electricity. For the world, it shows here about the different kind of method, including composting, incineration, and landfills. So I think in developed countries, maybe they will use the composting for backyard, for how to say, such like the leaf. So about the waste to energy development in China, I think this is the important part for all the participators. You will interest in this. As I mentioned, the main 3 disposal methods, including just treated method, including the composting, incineration, and landfills. But in China, since 2020, 20 centuries or 2000, the waste to energy developed very quickly. At the end of 2019, 99.2% of the MSW was treated, and half was treated by waste to energy. You can watch here. The yellow one is WTE, the pink is the landfill. So pink is reduced, WTE increase, and others, most is composter is very small, always. So let me explain what means waste to energy. Waste to energy means we burn the waste, convert the chemical energy to heat. Then heat become steam. Steam drive the steam turbine, then produce electricity. So this is the tipping hole, and this is storage, or we call here, this is the waste, and we'll produce liquid, then feed here, then burn on the grid or CFB. Then this one is the heat exchanger. The hot flue gas will heat the water, become steam. So here is for the electric productions. And this part is very important, is the flue gas clean system. So including 10 is here, simmer dry, and 11 is active carbon injector, 12 is the baghouse, and 15 is SCR, is selective catalyst reduction for NOx reduce, and GGH. Maybe GGH is not very common in developed countries. In China, it's very common. GGH just how we can avoid the smoke is white. So later I will introduce. Of course, in China, before the incineration, we also hope reduce the waste and recycle it. So the MSW sorting activity now is very active. So even President Xi Jinping take give some orders, or talk about this topic many times. So we have some regulations for promoting sorting in China. And this is the typical sorting site. So we use the AI, so we can, if the citizen drop the waste with well sorting, they will get some score, and this score just like the e-money, they can use this e-money to get some products. So this is very hot. And now we go to the detail about the waste to energy, the plant. You can see since 2003, the waste to energy plant increased, the capacity increased. In China, the first WTE was built in 1989, and yet the equipment, the technology is imported. After that, we quickly developed our domestic technologies. So in the end of 2019, we have 389 WTE plant, and the capacity is 456,000 tons per day. Totally is here 121 million tons per year. So we already become the top one in terms of waste incineration capacity in China, overtake the US, Japan, and the EU here, and we still very quickly develop. So while China, apply waste to energy so quickly, there are some reasons. In my opinion, yes, it can quickly reduce of mass and volume. It can complete treat with less land occupy, especially in such like the east part. China have huge populations, so we have to save the land and production electricity and construction materials for the city, because the slag we call it is the bottom ash. We can use the bottom ash for the road, for the buildings. So in the government plan, we call it is a 14 5-year plan. China is targeted to develop WTE capacity is up to 800,000 tons per day and account for 65% of total MSW. Now is 50, right? So we will develop very quickly in the coming 5 years. Another is waste to energy also is reduce CO2 emissions. I have to explain why waste to energy is reduce CO2. Maybe you will think it emit, right, CO2, but because two main reasons. First, if we not burn waste to energy, it will go to landfill. If it go to landfill, it will emit methane, and the methane CH4, the effect of CH4 1 mole is 24 times of 1 mole of CO2. So first, we can reduce methane emission from the landfill. The second is, if we not burn the waste for electricity, we have to burn the fossil fuel, such like coal, right? So we can reduce the methane emission from the landfill. We can reduce the coal consumption or coal combustion. So is we call it green carbon of waste to energies.
Zaki.
Another is for the capacity. So as I show you, the capacity is 456,000 tons per day in China, right? Excuse me. But actually, the capacity is not means how much waste can be burned, because during the operation we have to maintain it. We have to repair some parts, even some accident will happen. Some problem will happen, so we have to spend some time for the maintenance. So instead capacity not equal to the real installation capacities. So I calculate the capacity ratios. So in China, the capacity ratio is roughly 0.73, and the operation hour is 6,400 hours per year. So usually for technical, we say the reasonable operation hour is 8,000 hours per year. That means we will spend 1 month for maintaining. So the calculator capacity ratio of WTE plant is 0.8 in China in 2019. So here show how much energy or electricity we produced from all of the waste to energy plant. The power capacity of WTE is 11.7 gigawatt, and we produced 60.7 trillion watt-hour of electricity in 2019. Equal, we have reduced 80.21 million ton standard coal. The heat value is 7,000 kcal. The average energy efficiency is 350 to 500 kilowatt-hour per ton MSW. But don't mean all the electricity produced from the waste incineration can supply or provide to the market. Roughly 15% is used in the plant itself. Installed generator capacity is roughly 12 to 15 megawatt for 500 ton per day WTE. I will mention that why we calculate as 500 ton per day WTE. Usually one incinerator, the capacity is 5,000 or 500 or 750 or 800. So usually if the capacity of one plant, we have 2 incinerator, 500 plus 500. So here is the typical of 2 kind incinerator furnace. We have 2. One we call is the grid. Another is circular. Excuse me. The English is wrong. The circular fluidized bed, or we just call it CFB. You can see here, the flue gas system is same. Both of these 2 kind incinerators. So we have the scrub, we have the field or baghouse, we have the SCR, or we use the active carbons. What the only difference is the furnace. This is the grid, this is the CFB. So the MSW will go up, the recycle come back again. So, and of course, the turbine is the same. Here I show you the parameter of the turbine. The temperature is roughly in the range of 400 to 520 centigrade. The pressure roughly is 4 or 4.5 to 13 megapascal. So 13 is the maximum. And the temperature 520 is the maximum in China. Usually, increased pressure is easy, but increased temperature is very difficult because high temperature will cause corrosion, right? Need high requirement for the equipment. So this is the internship of our students. This is the steam turbine, and they show here the pressure, the temperature, and the capacity is 45 megawatt. And this is generator. So this is the furnace grid and the circular fluidized bed, CFBs. So you can watch the real grid. So this is the whole one. This is one piece. So the MSW will feed from this place, drop down, then go to the right, step by step, and will drying or gasification here, then burn out, will produce slag, or we call it the bottom ash. And this is the CFB. So the particle or the MSW will be blocked by the air from the bottom. So such like here, the waste come here, from here, then feed into the boiler or CFB, then go up. This is cyclone. So for the grid and the CFB, only CFB have the cyclone, and another is the requirement for feeding. For grid, low MSW is enough, is okay. But for the CFB, we have to shrink it to become a small part. But CFB also have some advantage. It can be studied for the wide variation of the heat value of the feedings. So this is application of different kind of incinerator in China, CFB and grid. At the beginning of the WTE industry in China, the grid, the CFB is occupy the main market more than the grid. The reason is CFB is developed by China by domestic technology. So the price, the cost is lower, but the grid is high price, more expensive. So at the beginning, the market choose the CFB, but now more and more grid is applied in China because CFB, the grid incinerator also can build designed by China companies itself. So the price decreased. So get a more more marketers. So this is a case of the great incinerator. Excuse me, take my time. So from this is the DCS pictures. So from here I can explain. This place is the feeding of MSW. So this is the bed. You can see the temperatures, right? So this is the boiler. So the temperature can up to 1040 centigrade. And you also can see some yellow value, right? Negative 112 par. Do you know why it is? Because in the boiler is a vacuum environment, so flue gas will not go outside. So this is the heat exchanger, so you can see all the temperatures, and this is for flue gas cleaning system. And from here, the superheater, right? The steam. So you know the parameter is 431 centigrade and 3.9 megapar, and go to the generator. The generator capacity now is 17,438.3 kilowatt. And here you also can see the emission data. So HCO, SO2, NOx, CO, particle matters. So this is only 10 and even 1.9. Maybe you can see here the particle matters only 1.6, 0.3, and the standard is 20, so much lower than the standard. This is the great, so you can see this is great. The air is supplied from the bottom, so divide 3 or 4 joules. This is the case of CFB. You can see here, maybe not very clear, but no problem. So here is the temperature. Also, yes, some negative parts. So air from here, the waste is here. For the CFB, we can mix coal together with MSW, but for the grid, we only use gasoline to help the combustion. When the MSW is not stable or the quality is very higher, when the quality is lower. So you also can see the emission data is also most of them is less 10. So it's fairly well operations. And about the other countries, WT development, you also can get the information from our report of waste to energy in selected regions of the world, including China, Malaysia, Indonesia. Actually, he is co-author of I and Professor Harry. So his name is here. Here. So you can download from the www.iccwt.org. This web is organized by me and by my supervisor. So the third part will introduce China experience, how to deal with not in my backyard. So in Chinese experience, I conclude we have the 5 points. The first is we can increase investment and build the modern design the building to make the plant beautiful of outlook. And we upgrade the laws and standards for emission to limit the pollution and explosion risk. And we develop advanced pollution control technology. So in the future literature, I will introduce the pollution control technology and equipment. Of course, we do the public education. So this is happened in China maybe 20 years ago, or over 10 years ago. The citizen also protest, but now in China, almost no person protest for the waste to energy plant. So I will introduce how to handle. This is the waste to energy plant of 15 years ago. So you can see, okay, this is the chimney, right? This is is a factory, at least you can recognize Zhejiang in our province, Wuhan, Hangzhou in our cities, and Wenzhou, Wuchang, Kunming. And how about now? This is the new WTE plant in China, maybe built in recent 5 or 10 years. All is like this. This is Chongqing, this is Shenzhen, this is Huiyang, and Ningbo. This is how to say in our province. And Hangzhou, this one is in our city. Is very close to my office. So I'm here, and this is WTE plant. So you can watch where the chimney. So let's go back. So this is chimney. This one also is chimney. This is chimney, and this is chimney. Also here, this is chimney. The flue gas emission here, but from outside, okay, it looks some salt, right? So this is another plant in our city. Called name is Linjiang WTE plant in Hangzhou, and this is Outlook, and this is the control room. So the staff operate here. So this is the grid. This is the inside of the boiler. So some fans, right, and some equipment they can monitor. So the capacity is 5,200 tons per day. Also, the capacity of electricity, we have 3 steam turbines, and each one is 45 megawatts. So next year, or you have opportunity to visit us, our city, I will show you. So after we built enough WTE plant, the landfill is closed in China, or in our city, in Hangzhou city. Now it become an industrial park, or just for emergent disposal site. Why we how to just call it temporarily shut down? Because in case the waste to energy plant have problem, or during the maintain the capacity of WTE is not enough, then the waste will how to say come the landfill first store here, then after the maintenance will be transported back to the WTE plant. But usually the capacity is enough. So you can see here, I think this guy, this lady, yes, from Indonesia, and this one also, yes, I forget the name. And we take a photo together here. So here looks like in a beach, right? So actually this is a landfill. All on the ground is MSW. So this is in our cities. So this guy is me. I show the landfill to the visitors, our young scientists.
Oh,
so
nice.
For the outlook of the WTE, we also not only prohibit the black smoke, we also prohibit the white smoke. Actually, the white only the moisture, right? But the citizens thinking, okay, you emit something, you emit some pollutant. You see, we can find now. So the government usually will require the WTE operator like this. You have to use the GGH. GGH means gas heating. We just heat the flue gas, then the moisture will not condense to liquid, so we'll know the smoke, white smoke. But of course, the government and the industry, the scientists understand this one is no pollution, right? Just water. If we do this, we'll waste the heat. So now still we are trying to educate the public. White smoke is no problem. Black is a problem, right? And this is the internal of the waste to energy plant. You see, like just like shopping mall, but actually all this picture is taken by myself and in waste to energy plant. And this picture I just take in this summer with my international student. I'm here. Usually looks like Indonesia guys, right? And this is the control room. This is the equipment. So this is the you see the land is very clean. This is the bag house, is the scoop. So this is the flue gas clean system, or the equipment. So this is the typical WT plant in China. The first receptacle hole, the Zhejiang control room, the toilet pasture, and the clean. Feed the waste by these operators. So the tipping hole and the flue gas clean system, turbine generator, and some basketball or some living facility for the staffs. So here I want to show you 2 cases of waste to energy plant by the internet site Toya. So it will believe what I said is the truth. Okay, hold on. Okay, so can you watch my web, Professor Haley?
Yes, I can see. Clear.
Okay, so
There's
this one is
helicopter.
yeah. So just take a photo. So this is the waste to energy plant. So you can watch around. So in a valley, close to some villages, and this is another plant. This is a food waste treatment for ferment, for biogas. So this is a storage of biogas. You see here. Then we go to. Okay. So you can see this is the clean control rooms. So this is 2 staff. This is the waste, municipal solid waste, and this place is the feeding hoop. So use the crane to catch the waste and feed here, right? So this is the tipping hole. So the receptor of for the waste. So the truck, this is truck drop the waste to the tipping hole. So you can see from the door, right? Okay, so then we go. This one is the incinerator. So you can see it's very high because 500 tons per day, 1 incinerator. So they have 4. So you can see the incinerator. And this is the flue gas. So this is the bag house. I think it's the wet scoop for acid gas. This is for particles. So you can see the land surface is clean, no flash. So this is the equipment. All have the roof. And this is the steam turbine and generator. Yeah. Okay. And we go to the control room. So the staff work here. They control this is the turbine, I think. So this is a great incinerator. They also can watch or monitor outside. Yeah, I think some students visit here. And we also have a museum for the public education. Oh, the sample is here. So this is the layout or diagram of the waste to energy plant. So the public can understand. Okay. Oh, this is the crane. So catch the waste, feed it to the hoop. And this is the sample. I think this is some bottom ash, fly ash. Bottom ash can build for the brick. And this is the water leached, and this after treatment looks very clean, right? And also this is for kitty education for the babies, so they can play here, and they can try to recycle the materials. Okay. So green land. This is the how to say the office some dormitory, and another is okay. Let's go back. Yeah. So I want to mention that the staff work here and the trunk will go here. So can separate the MSW trunk and the staff cars. So this is one case. Another case. So this is another case. That one is in our province. This is in the west of China, Chongqing. So you can see also is in village, right? Rural area. So this is the chimney. Okay, coming. Cars. Okay, so this is the building, the main building. Looks like a museum. Condensed toilet. Outside for the rest. Yeah, have a pool looks. Okay, let's go to the west. So all the west wing and the plant will have the weight. So how much ton totally every day we'll calculate. Then the truck coming. Oh yeah, so this is here is the gate. So they just drop the MSW to the tipping holes. So let me go to the central. So here is the control room for the staff. So this guy is charged for steam turbine. I think another will charge for the incinerators. Yeah, I think this guy is for incinerator. You come from the picture. This is incinerator. This incinerator and steam turbine, and another maybe for excuse me, for flue gas clean system. And let's see the equipment. So this is steam turbine. 3 set. Oh, where? Excuse me. Where? Excuse me. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, I just go to the equipment. Excuse me. Okay, maybe education. So here is the education room for the visitor. And this is a boiler, incinerator. Okay, you can see here. Yeah, it's very clean and very tall. You can see this green pen is for worker, and this part we cannot touch because this equipment. This is the flue gas clean system. Yeah, so you can see. Okay, so I just show, we can go back. I just show the 2 cases of waste-to energy plant in China, including our city and in our province and another province in the east part of China and the west part of China. now almost yes, this standard. So,
Dr.
but
Mian.
as you,
Hello.
yeah, yes.
Maybe half a minute for question and answer.
Okay, no problem.
Ya, para peserta sekalian, kalau ingin menyampaikan pertanyaan, Dr. Mian will drink coffee or tea. No, you do not drink coffee. Drink a coffee. Drink a tea. And maybe the audience will give a question and then answer before we continue. Silakan kalau ada yang ingin bertanya, hal-hal teknis boleh, hal-hal yang bersifat politik jangan politik, tapi kemasyarakatan boleh. Monggo silakan, saya nggak bisa menandai, ini ada tulisan vektor laden Ryzen, ini apa begitu? Silakan vektor laden. One question from our friend Vector Landon. Yeah, this is from mechanical engineering. No.
Yeah, yes. From mechanical engineering.
Please introduce yourself shortly.
Okay. First of all, nice to meet you, Dr. Mian. Thank you for your presentation. My name is Victor Landeng. I'm from mechanical engineering, ITB. My question for you is, how do you determine or sort which MSW to be used as WTE? What are the considerations for choosing the composition of MSW that are burned?
Okay, so actually just all the municipal solid waste produced in the city, we collect all, so mixed together. So we just use the raw MSW. I'm not sure here are some pictures. Wait a moment. Excuse me. Oh, I can use another PPT show, because actually next class I will show the sampling of MSW. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. I just show the picture.
Yeah. That means all of MSW put into the boiler, something like that.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah. But before.
What you produced, what you collect, we burn it. But how to say, usually at the beginning, maybe 20 years ago or some 10 years ago, the heat value is not enough. So we will mix some coal together with the MSW, less 10%. But now it's not necessary. We figure out the method. We can store the raw MSW in the tipping hole 7 days. So the moisture will reduce itself, then the heat value will increase. So anyway, we just burn what you produced, what we collect from the city. So it doesn't matter how to say where or when. So whole year, whole China, we burn it. We will, before design, we will sampling, we will analyze. So we will design the incinerator. So this is the case. So that's why here I show you one. Okay. So before design and manufacture the incinerator for one city, we have to sample and analyze the character of local MSW, not the only amount. So we just know how much heat value in the city, then what's the capacity, compensation, then we can design, then it will work. Yeah, this is my answer to Mr. Victor. I hope is your question, for your question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mian.
Yeah.
Satu pertanyaan, one more question I hope from the student, from the audience. Yeah. Pak Suhartono, yes please, Pak Suhartono.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Heri. My name is Suhartono from the Jenderal Ahmad Yani University. I was a doctorate student of Professor Heri Susanto. At present time, my research is concerned in converting solid plastic waste into pyrolysis liquid oils as a main product of pyrolysis. Yeah, and this pyrolysis is can be used as a fuel for household and small industry in my country. Excludes the incinerator technology to energy. I should like to know deeply the development technology in China in handling single solid plastic waste from municipal solid waste. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. I'm glad you are here. So how to say for the pyrolysis, we can say it's a very good technology, but it's not a mutual technology. That means it cannot huge scale applied in the industry, maybe small, 50 tons per day, 100 tons per day. The maximum in China, such like is 100 tons per day for the gasification, for the for the pyrolysis, and the operation is not stable. The product is not very well accepted by the industry. So we still do many work in research as the same as you in our university. So I think the pyrolysis still need time to develop. Maybe we can do some demo, but it's not the right time to install the big scale in the market, especially in a huge city, because they have so many so amount MS bill has to be treated. So we have in the industry we have to use the modular technology for a single single component such like the plastic. Yes, plastic, even the tire, the waste tire, it is a very well feedstock for pyrolysis. But as mentioned, this is for demo or just for small scales. In China, for the biomass, especially the straw. So we also have many biomass facility or biomass to electricity facility plant in China. But for the market operation, actually waste to energy is more higher profit. As you know, during the plastic or the biomass, if you build a plant, the price will increase. You cannot control the cost. But for WTE, you don't worry about the cost. The WTE is free. You can get the tipping fee. But for biomass, for plastic, maybe you need to buy it. So now we also do some research, such like we want to combine the plastic or some single component, or yes, more homogeneous feeder combined with the coal power plant. So we gasify or pyrolyze first, then the oil or the gas, the syngas, injected into the coal boiler. So because we burn is okay, and you can accept your change of your feeder, the oil. But if you such like your oil for the car, for some machine, no, maybe we still need more technology, more development. Yes, this is my answer to you. Hope I understand your question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I want to add. Yeah, you see here. I think the question from Victor. You see, this is the real waste. Just what produced, what collected we from the city. Then we store here 7 to 10 days. That means today the waste coming, we not burn it. We burn 7 days ago the waste. The waste will ferment in the tipping hole. It will dewater itself. So from 60% to 40%, the moisture content. So it will be dried and heat value quality will increase. The one thing. The second thing, the tipping hole is vacuum. What means vacuum? The smell will not go out. So we use a pump to suck the air from the tipping hole, then inject to the incinerator. We burn. We use the air from the tipping hole as the first primary air. So this is a technology to how to avoid the smell. So this I want to add to the first questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Go on, Dr. Mian, with the next material, and
Okay.
I will give again time for
I should go back
question
to
and answer.
my PPT. Is not this one? Oh, this one. Yes. So, but I have to mention that I also show you the plant 15 years ago, right? And now, so 15 years ago is a factory, right? As you know, okay. But now is we call it how to say, like in industrial park, or have a beautiful outlook, right? So, but actually, all the improvement we need to invest. We need money. So the investment for the waste to energy plant already increased significantly. So here, for 1 ton, from 0.3 to 0.5 or 0.7, that means double. And this is a typical case, 1,000 ton per day, from 400 million RMB to 700 million RMB. So outside looks beautiful. Everything become better, right? So this we need investment. So I want to say, yes, how to say, step develop WT step by step with society development. And we also upgrade the laws, the regulations, the standards. So how do we frequently upgrade our lawyer standards? So even you how to serious put the environment, the boss, the manager will put to the jail. So they will take care, thinking the cost of the environment. We have a joking. We have a joking for the boss, for the investor. Money is small problem. So they punish you 1 million, 2 million. Okay, I pay, I can earn back, right? But if put you to the jail, when 1 year later, or some years later, you come out, your wife become how the man's wife. Your children become a man's children. So they will take single care, put it to the jail. Punish you cannot resolve the problem. If put in the jail, okay, they have to concern it. So this is very serious. So we also upgrade our emission standard. So the first established is in 2000, but up to 2014, we already have the third edition. So this is the limiters. So here also have I want to explain 1 hour, 24 hours. So usually the file is wave, right? But it is no problem. So you just calculate the 24 hours. So we can compare with the developed countries. Some file is lower, some is higher. So such like the dioxin is 0.1 nanogram TEQ per cubic meter, but for HCl particle matters, we still is lower. I have to say, more stricter emission standard, more higher cost, because we have injected more active carbon. We have more huge the baghouse, right? So this is related to the cost, and we apply the well-developed equipment to reduce the emissions. So I make a survey of 313 WT plant in 2018. 98.1% percentage plant installed by steam dry scrub, active carbon spray, and baghouse. Steam dry means the scrub is for acid gas capture, such like SO2, HCl, right? Steam dry means you inject slowly, but output is ash. Also, 69.4 plant installed by SNCO means non-selective catalytic reduction. So and at least 13 plant instead of SCR. Actually, the NOx for WTE plant is not a big problem because the temperature is lower compared to the coal power plant. So the NOx emission is okay. The key is dioxins. I will go to the detail when how to say give the course. I think it is 6, right? Dioxin emission and controls. So another is how to reduce emission. We have some requirement for the combustion. The operation temperature have to higher than 850 centigrade, and the recent times in the range of over 850 centigrade should be longer than 2 seconds. Means we have enough time, enough temperature. Another is the vacuum of incinerator and the tipping hole, and so no smell will go out. And another is oxygen in the flue gas in range of 6 to 10%. In the dioxin emission, I will explain why we have to control this. Another is about the stake or chimney heat. So smaller than 300 tons per day, at least 45 meters, and larger than 300 tons per day should be 60 meters higher. The chimney. Oh, you see here. This is truck, drop the waste to the tipping hole, and the pressure is negative 19 bar, right? So it's vacuum. Outside the air enter the tipping hole, and the tipping hole air cannot go out, just go to the incineration. And another is all the emission data is open to the public. We call the install, connector, and open. So here is the real-time emission data is shown on the monitor installed in the gate of WT plant. So this board show the emission data real-time. Maybe how to say some second will update. So all the emission data is open to the public. This board and this board. So this is the gate of WT, and this is chimney. You see, here is the chimney, and here is chimney. This is in Hangzhou, and this is in Ningbo, both in our province. And where I am, I think this is Dwi from Indonesia. This is Bio, also is from Indonesia, right? And this is me, and this is Providioti from Indonesia, and maybe 5 or 6 from Indonesia. And this is the board detail. I show you what information show here. So this is particle matter, NOx, SO2, HCl, CO. So this is the real data, and this is the standard limiter, and this is the temperature. So 850 is the standard limiter. So higher than 850. So roughly 1,000. Show here. This is in Hangzhou. So another is all the data not only show how to say in the board installed in the gate. Also, all the data is connected to the government, and the government is open to the public by website. So you see, this is the China map. One blue cycle means one plant. There are already over 580 plants in China of WTE. So if you look the cycle, you can get the information, the emission data, and the temperature. So let me show you the real case. So, Professor, you guys watch my web, is right? So I just select maybe here. Excuse me. Hold on. Okay. So we are at my city here. Linguang. Okay. So many. Okay. Here is Hangzhou. Here is Jiufeng, or is close to our campus. So I click here. So you see from the web, you guys know the capacity 750 ton per day, one line. So they have four line. That means the total capacity is 3,000 ton per day. Then we go to, okay, wait. Wait, what happened? Okay, oh, here. Oh, sorry, because excuse me. I should. Okay, here. Okay, you see here have the data. This is particle matter, NOx, SO2, HCO, CO. So this is standard. So the real emission is much lower than the standard. And this is yesterday, right? Okay, I can choose another day. This is September 15. So you can see all the emission and the temperature. You can choose, yes, September 60. So all the people can know the emission situation around his community or in some specific locations. And then you can see in the east part is much more plant, and the west is less, because the east part is economy is better in China. So well developed area. This is how to say, maybe still need a longer time. Okay, I go back my PPT. Okay. So how I remove this? Okay, put it here. Hold on. Sorry. So this is the typical pollution control system: SNCR, Simudry, active carbon spraying, Lighthouse, SCR, which scoop, and Zhejiang is the system in our city. Jiufeng waste-to-energy plant, and this is the equipment, and this is the demo. When you visit, they will show you the education demo. And this is the case of MSW incinerator emissions. So you can see the dust, the HCO, and A, B, C, D, right? Why C is without the data means the incinerator C is on the maintain. But another three, they are on the operations. So this show the waste enter the plant for one A line is 1,100, but only burned 715. So why they have the gap? Because the waste store 1 week, then the moisture, how to say, go to the bottom, become the leached. So roughly 300 tons produced of the leached, and this is the electricity show here. The 发电量 means the produced electricity. 上网电量 means the sale electricity. So there are some have difference, right? So the difference means the electricity used in the plant by itself. So here are some efficiency data. And of course, we also take care of the leachate from MSW, because we store 7 days or 10 days in the incinerator. So we'll produce roughly 20% of the low raw MSW, right? So we have to take care the littered. So littered is here. So this is littered. Black means dirty, right? So we also have the data. COD, BOD is very, very high. It's not easy to treat it. So we should have more complex systems. So let me show you. The littered treatment standard we have two methods. So two standards. The first is littered treatment in the WT plant itself, treated by itself. Then they can reuse the water for the production, such like for grassland, for the semi-dry, for the flash treatment. Also, primarily treated, just simple treated in the WT plant, then connected to the sewage water treatment plant. They just have to use a pipe to another wastewater plant to treat. But of course, we have the specific standard for the littered. So this here, some data. And we also have some typical treatment process. I should move this one. So here, yes, we have 4 kinds, but both or all of them, if you list membrane, they will produce the concentrated littered. This is how to say much difficulty to treat it compared to the raw littered. So usually it will be sprayed into the furnace or used in fly ash solidifications. The concentrated littered produced from the membranes. So this is one case. The raw littered, the blank pole, the digester, the oxidation, superfilter, nanofilter, and the RO also is the filter. So you can produce, this is the raw littered. This is output of the wastewater treatment. And we also frequently use the MBR, the membrane biological reactors. So this is raw littered. This is the treated water, and this is the equipment. Of course, for my experience, the operator is very important. Means we have to. So can I move this one? Otherwise. So how to say, the operator is the key role for economic profit and pollution controls. Training for operator and manager is essential. So you should, how to say, frequently or every half year or one season, you have to test your operator, your staff. And now our master PhD graduate students also started to work in WT companies because the benefit is good, the salary is good, but so already start, but not many. Okay, so now not in my backyard, gradually become place in my backyard. So many children education activity well done in the WT plant, and this is a demo or a case we call the no furnace. So you, no furnace WT plant. You see here, this is waste to energy plant. This is chimney. Also, this is belong to the plant. So no furnace. The citizen can enter this area freely. So, and the WT plant set some public room area for reading, for coffee and for child. So, and it's very close to the shopping mall, from the supermarket for the household. So it's will get along with the citizens. So this is a Chinese case. Of course, I would like to introduce a ROIS system for the WT developer in China. If we want to develop WT market, not only technical, not only the investment, also we need lawyers and management. So in China, we have very, comprehensive system for the WTE development. The key point is the construction and the monitor is separated. Means the Ministry of Ecology and Environment, they just concern your emission. They just monitor what's your situation, and the construction responsibility belong to the Ministry of Constructions. So this is ministry department, right? So this construction charge for construction, and MEE or DEE is charged for the monitoring. So just check how about your emission, how about your leach treatment, how about your flash treatment. So it means can be cooperate well, and the public can trust. Otherwise, cannot done constructed by one department, and monitor also is also supervised by the same department is not good. So we have several layers, lawyer code, standard, and policies. And standard, we have standard for construction, standard for products, standard for technology, many detail. We also have standard for emissions. So this is emission. And also we take very concern the online emission monitor. So all the plants have to install the equipment of online monitor, or that means online measurement, and all the data is open to the public. You can see here some statistics. In 2020, 83 complaints, or we call not protest, just maybe some citizen call the government, say the emission or the smell is not good around the WT plant. Only 83 will filed against the WS Municipal Solid Waste Incineration Project, relatively down 49.1 from 2019 and 80.9% from 2018. So that means more people already will get along with WTE plant, and there are no smell, so the public accept. And we have some stage of the development of policies. In the beginning, the government not care or spend attention in the WTE industry, because very few WTE plant. They just give some promoter or give some suggestions. So this is the primary stage. After 2021, okay, maybe the government realize if we want to develop the city, we want to attract the investment from developed countries, we have to build clean cities. So the government stronger support the WTE plan. But after 2011, the real estate, or means the house market increased, the price increased. The citizen will afraid WTE construction will influence their price of their house. So there are many protests, many complaints. So the government started to monitor or set more strict standard for the WTE plan. And anyway, maybe some years ago, we still bargain. We should develop landfill, or we should develop waste-to energy. Which one is better? But now we already agree WTE is better or more suitable for China. So for the 14 5-year plan and the development of municipal solid waste classification and treatment facilities, we will increase the sorting, and we also increase the capacity of incinerations. And each province have the number or the plan for the WTE. So all the province, and the list is our province. And at the end of 2030, there are extra new 13 WTE plant with the capacity of 9,350 tons per day compared to 2019 situation. Actually, in our province, already zero landfill in Zhejiang province, my hometown, since May 2021 this year. Means all the waste is burned in the incinerator. But why we still plan to build more waste to energy plant? Two reasons. The one is because we still increase the MSW every year, right? So we have to build more WTE plant, set more capacity for the increased MSW. The second is build a new facility in some small cities as their MSW transported to the neighborhood city at present. Such like the small city A will transport their MSW to city B, then A should pay for the service to city B. So now every city hope has their own WTE plant. So maybe some small cities started to build the new facility for the I already mentioned. So and every the blue one is on operation. The pink is for under construction. The green one is for play, and so everywhere the location already planned, very detailed. And now I want to share the profit, the business models. So the business model in China has includes two parts: basic price, for tipping fee plus the subside. Energy from waste is considered as renewable energy, so renewable energy can get the subside. So the tipping fee based on the contract with government in the range of 50 to 250 RMB per ton. So like in Hangzhou, roughly 114 RMB per ton. In some small city, only 80 RMB per ton. In Shanghai, in Beijing, over 200 RMB per ton. Depending on the cost or labor, the cost of the the constructions. Different city, the cost is different. The subside on the electricity is like this. Basic price of 0.4 RMB per kilowatt. This is for coal power plant. But for the renewable energy, for the waste to energy plant, extra of 0.25 RMB per kilowatt hour. So, but the government also said 280 kilowatt hour per ton is the limit. I'm not sure I can understand why we set the facility, the capacity or the efficiency of electricity is only, ton.
Yeah.
So 280 kilowatt hour per ton. Only this part can get the extra subside 0.25. Such like if 1 ton produce 300 kilowatt hour, only 280 kilowatt hour can get the subside. Another 20 kilowatt hour cannot get the subside because during the development in the industry, the business or the company will do some fails or some lies because the price is higher. Some company even they mix coal with the MSW and even burn very high quality fuel into the incinerator. Then they produce more electricity right? They want to get the subside. So the government to assess roughly how much 1 ton MSW produce how much electricity. So they set these values. So that means will inhibit or avoid the company mix will quality fuel into MSW for the subside. So this is the case. And the business model in China usually is we call the BOT or PPE. Most of is BOT. What means BOT? Means usually the government not invest, the social or the private company they invest. So they build, they operate. Then some years later will transfer to the government. So E means build, O means operation, T means transfer. So the investor of the private company, they will build the WT plant, they will operate. Of course, they get the benefit. But after 30 years later, this plant belongs to the government. So this is called BOT. So we have many policies for electricity, for the taxi. So the taxi is lawyer, even is free for support WT development. So the last one I want to share the challenge for WT sustainable development. We still face many challenge for sustainable development of WT in China. I will share some keys. Of course, you can get the detail from 2 papers. One is read by me, challenge for sustainable development of waste to energy in different countries. Yes, population in waste manager and researchers. And another is online book. So the title is here. We are including China and some other countries. So all you talk about the challenges. Today I just share some key for such as Indonesia, regulation, technical standard. I think it still empty or gap. So we need to set. We need how to develop business models. There are different models, right? So how to ensure or ensure the investment can get a reasonable benefit. And of course, the technical localization and development. What it means? You cannot only depend on the imported technology. After you buy the equipment, after you develop how to install imported technology, you should invite some institutes such as Professor Henry to learn and to develop your own technologies suitable for the local MSW. Such like in China, and in the beginning we import grit, but grit cannot burn Chinese MSW. In 20 years ago, we have to use CFB. We mix coal at least, and we have to know how to handle not in my backyard. I think the citizen is different. Chinese people is different from Indonesia people. Their concept is different. So you have to figure out your own method to handle not in my backyard. I just share Chinese experience. And of course, the flash treatment, the labor chain, and others. So today, I wanted to highlight the problem or challenge of flash. Flash is produced after the MSW incineration. So we use very well equipment technology to clean the flue gas, right? Yes, the gas is clean. Where the dirty go to the flash, right? So the flash is hazardous waste in China. High concentration of heavy metal, high concentration of salt, and dioxins. So we have the standard for flash treated in MSW landfill. This is the main disposal technology for flash some years ago. So we have some standards, but it's huge. It also occupies the land. So what you see here, each bag is a flash. So this is a flash. So after rain, maybe the salt will go out, right? And it is not stable, will crush. And another, simple understand why fly ash is hazardous waste. This is a flash. If I wash and vaporization, I will get this. So soluble salt, roughly is 30 to 40% of the fly ash is salt. So it's danger or risk for the environment. So China now is very concerned to pay attention for the flash treatment, but the technology is not well developed. We just set the standard now. So we have the requirement for soluble salt of waste or the flash more than 10%, 2% for different usage. And we have during your construct the WT plant, you have to build the flash treatment facility in same times. So now we develop the technology, treat the flash in cement kiln. So this flash put here, input here, the high temperature, right, 1,500 centigrade. So will be make it stable, then become the cement. Okay, so this is a flash, input to the cement plant, become cement. But the ratio is lower. And another is before you input your flash into the cement plant, you have to wash it. You reduce the element, especially F and Cl. So that means you have to wash. Wash will produce this, the salt. Actually, unfortunately, I not take the whole picture. I visit some plant, whole building is the salt. Now we cannot, we don't know how to use it or we just store it as the hazardous waste. So how to deal with the salt? I will introduce some technology in the pollution control literature. Our students do some work, research this. And another challenge is WT development in small cities. Bigger scale usually is better investor blockade, right? But in our experience, 300 tons per day is the suitable balance level for investment profits. So otherwise, more as a government or fiscal subside. So usually the government said the limit is 300 tons per day of MSW generation. What means 300 tons per day? If one person produces 1 kilogram one day, that means 300 tons per day means we need 300,000 citizens in a city. But I think many citizens is lower than, is small like this, right? So how to develop WTE in small cities? Core construction. What means core construction? Means neighborhood A, neighborhood B, two cities produce one plant. But the problem is construct in which city? In city A or city B? Maybe the city B waste transfer to the city A citizen will protest. So this core construction technology is no problem. It's not a technical problem. This is a political problem. This is the public protest problem. And core incineration. What means core incineration? Means we not only burn MSW, we also burn sludge together. We also burn the industrial waste. We also burn biomass waste. But this is a new issue for technicals. And for the model, the business model. Another is the challenge is the heating value valuation. What it means? With the year, with the years, the heat value will be, changed. So that means 10 years ago, your design is 1,500 kcal per kilogram, but 5 years later, 10 years later, your heat value increased, right? You have to modify your incinerator. Another is food waste removal by waste sorting also will increase the HLH fee. So, but usually one incinerator cannot accept all kind of MSW. We have to suitable. So that means if the LH fee too high, the closing will become problem. So maybe some years later, we have to modify our technology. We have to modify our incinerator. The last one is the subside reductions. The government since last year started to reduce or increase the subside. The government just mentioned the subside only for 82,000. Excuse me, 82,500 hours for one plant. That means only 9 to 12 years you can get the subside. After 12 years, the government don't pay subside to you because the government thinking you already return your investment, you already earn money, right? And another is not all of the waste to any plant can get the subside. So there are competitions. So anyway, the subside will start to increase in China. Why the government want to reduce the subside? Don't mean that the government don't have money. Don't mean they don't have enough money to pay. Actually, their logic is like this: tipping fee decrease to push technology development. What it means? If your tipping fee decrease, the company have to thinking how to increase their income from the electricity sales from the productions, right? So they have to thinking produce more electricity to increase the efficiency. So they will develop the technology. So high efficiency need high technologies, equipment. So high pressure and temperature also ensure benefit and industrial. So the government is push the company to increase their technology or improve their technologies. So this is the logic. Last, I wanted to share some experience in the waste sorting and treatment in villages. So I think in Indonesia, still many small villages or some island. So this story is my hometown, my own hometown. So we also have the regulation for the waste sorting in the village area. This is not for the city. City is city, village is village. So we call this 2 times and 4 cans. So the house owner will separate or sort the waste themselves first. Then the collector will separate again. So first sorting, the second sorting, and we have 4 cans: dry, wet, toxic, seal. We not call is combustible. We not call is food waste. We not call is recycling. So because the village person they cannot understand, but they will easily understand dry, wet, toxic, and seal. Dry usually means plastic, right? Ash. Wet usually means food waste. Toxic, of course, they understand the medicine, right? The seal means they can sell bottles for earn monies. So we have 2 cans, 2 times 4 cans, the sorting method in the villages. We also use the small main power truck divided into 4 waste bins. So 1, 2, 3, 4 hazardous waste, right? For white, wet, dry, and seals. And also we'll record the sorting scores. So every house, if you sort well 1 year, your family member face will own this world. Means okay, you are good business or good behaviors in the waste sorting. That means this is like a award. And if you done not well, okay, your name and the picture of your waste sorting will on the board. Means okay, not good down your home, so you have to improve. And this not only this is for household owner, and this score is for the collector. So all have a score, and they will just like competitions. And after sorting, how to dispose. So the plastic, the recycling will transport to the city disposal facility, but the weight part or the ferment part will dispose in the local. So we use stones composting, heating by the solar or by electricity. So this is by solar. I will explain. So I bring the international participator to visit my hometown. Yeah, actually I'm spent 3 years in this village for my high school, and is 2017, 2019 we also use by electricity. So this is a machine, a mechanical composting. So this is a typical station of waste treatment in village area. So this is composting. This may be some storage for recycling. So this is a mechanism. The waste will be dropped here from the top, and this is glass, so sunshine can come in, right? And the air can automatically, suck into the house. Why? Because the soil will make the room inside is hot, then the air will go out, then the room will become vacuum, then refrigerated air will inlet. So we don't need a machine, we don't need electricity, just drop it. And one house we divide 4 sets. So maybe this month, and then next month, the third month, like this. So we can put a compost here 1 or 2 months. So this is inside. This is the village people drop their waste from this, and this is glass. Sunshine will heat the waste, will promote the ferment. Actually, I also do some international activities, including education, co-research symposium, training workshop, and also co-organize international training program of WTE. We already trained over, okay, only 1 minute, okay? 19 international participators from 19 countries during 2016 to 2019. Last year, yes, post because of the pandemic, and we will conduct 2021 program during next month, 12 to 26 by online method. The detail you can go to ICCWTE. And also, I and Professor Harry organized the Younger Scientist Symposium of Waste Management and Disposal Technologies. So the participator will present their work, and yes, organized by all the students, young scientists. So I think Meti,
yes.
Yeah, my student, and lab field and factory field go to the waste to plate, and toy field and Chinese food. So we'll CEO in Hangzhou after the pandemic 2022. I hope I can host 2022 International Young Scientist Symposium of Waste Management and Disposal Technology. So that's all. And thank you for your attention, and see you Thursday. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Dr. Mian.
Yeah,
maybe one or two questions from the floor, from the audience, from the student. Ada yang ingin bertanya? Akso tadi ingin bertanya, kemana? Nggak jadi. Ada Pak Song. One question. Akso, please. Lalu satu lagi Muhammad siapa nggak tahu. Dua, udah. 2 questions, Dr. Mian.
Okay. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harry. Thank you so much, Dr. Mian, for your presentation. So it's really enjoyable, and this topic is actually current, like one of the hot topic in Indonesia and around the world, of course. I would like to ask about the a question related to the economic of the WTE in China. Like in Indonesia itself, I'm talking about Jakarta, which is the capital of Indonesia. The tipping fee is close to 40 USD per ton, which is around what?
40 USD.
Yeah, 40 USD, about like 260 RMB, I think.
Yes, very high.
So, however, the operational cost, it's still quite big for a small scale system in here. I'm talking about less than 300 tons a day, let's say, right? So is there any other revenue for the WTE plant in China, such as from incentive or part of the waste that can be sold, like a type of plastic, metals, or and so on, right? So how you see the economic model in here for the WTE plant? Because currently definitely doesn't work in Indonesia. So it's still quite expensive. The operational cost is still expensive. The capital cost definitely. So we're looking for any type of a business model that we can introduce in Indonesia that can help this problem, right? And then the second one, I'd like to ask, did you consider also to combine the biological process for the WTE plant, or simply it's best just to use one, like gasification or incineration, such as type of WTE plant, or do you like to combine it at the beginning first, take care of all the organics and so on, and then finish the rest of it, right? So that's the question. Thank you, Dr. Mian. Thank you, Dr.
Okay,
Heri.
thank you for your question. The first question about the business model, I think you just open the market, and international investor will enter Indonesia. They will figure out the business models. And as I know, a Chinese company, the Zhejiang Group, our partner, already set some contract with Indonesia government. As I know, Palembang, they have one plan to build a WTE plant. I think maybe the tipping fee already is very, very high compared to China. And but I'm not sure is there subside for the electricity. I'm not sure, but don't worry. The businessman will find a suitable business model. And about the other profit in China, mainly as the tipping fee and the subside electricity, right? But also they can sell the bottom ash to, or they also can sell some metals. But the ratio is very, very small compared to the TPP, compared to the subside. Roughly in China is 1/3 is from the TPP, 2 to 3 is from the subside. That means 30% from the TPP, 60% is from the subside. And don't know the case in Indonesia. I think maybe the cost is different, such like the land cost, the labor cost is different. As all in China, the land is free. That means BOT or PPP, the government and the private company collaborate together. Usually the government will give the land to the company, then the company build the incinerator on the land. After 30 years later, the land, the equipment, it belong to the government. So this is the style. So if I think if Indonesia, the land is free for the WTE plant, I think the cost will reduce. Yeah. As I know, the land is sell to the business, sell to the company. So the investment is very, very high. So I think this is the key. So it is another story.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe, okay.
Sir, you want to add more?
Because he asked gasification, is that?
Yeah. I'm asking whether you combine also the other process like biological process with your current process right now.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, maybe for small scale is for gasification, bigger scale not yet. Yeah, sorry.
We discuss more. We still have many time to meet again next Thursday in the week. Pak Saudara Muhammad Ihsan ya, kita tunda dulu.
Yeah,
Dr.
okay.
Ihsan, you are the student of thermal conversion ya. Sekarang I think it's time is up. Now it is already 6 minutes
The last
past.
question.
Yeah. I look that Dr. Mian is in a hurry. It will go to dinner, yeah. Otherwise,
It's okay. It's okay.
okay.
Aisha, how are you?
Now, I like to ask Pak Walmiki, another chairman of another chairman. We have many chairmen in one department. Pak Walmiki say. Welcome to our friend Dr. Mian. You want to go there several times, but always fail. Pak Walmiki, yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Pak Heri. Welcome to our campus, even though you already joined us virtually, Dr. Mian. We met before, actually. I've met you before in a conference. I think it was in Padang, I think. And
Kuala Lumpur.
Where, Pak Heri?
Kuala Lumpur, maybe.
Kuala Lumpur, yeah. I think
In Malaysia, I think.
Yeah, Aisha together.
Yeah. And originally, I was planned. I was already having allocated budget to go to your university last year, but of course, with the pandemic, it was cancelled.
Yeah, next year.
I'm now I'm the chair of the graduate program in chemical engineering. So I'm head of the master and doctoral program. When I met you, I was the vice dean. So I'm changing responsibility now. So again, I would like to thank you for your time and willingness to give us these series of lectures. Not only one, but a series. So I think this is equivalent to 1 credit in our curriculum, I think. So it's a very big time commitment. So I would like to thank you again.
It's my pleasure.
And hopefully we will have a good discussion between you and our students for the next few days. When is the last date of the lecture, Pak Heri?
For November.
September.
For November.
November.
Okay.
November.
Okay, so still a long time to discuss things.
Yeah. Then, okay, I think it is
Thank you.
already right.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure, and I hope can set more collaboration with ITB, with your department.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much to Dr. Mian. It is a good day, good afternoon for us. We have a lecture from your experience, from the experience in China, and also some, many things. Then, in the next time, we will learn from you more technical, I think. Yeah. And everybody can join with us in the class. We will send again the invitation to you, or I don't know how to manage the connection or the link. I think the link can be used in the whole time of our meeting. Saya akhiri dengan ucapan terima kasih Pak Walmiki, terima kasih Pak Hari Devianto, terima kasih kepada yang hadir, tentu saja yang membantu kami. Thank you very much for all of you. And we meet again on Thursday, September 23 at 1 o'clock here.
Yes. 1 hour.
Thursday, 1 o'clock, only 1 hour. But I hope if we have long discussion on Thursday, Dr. Mian still available. Not today, because today is already late. It's already already very late now for us and for you, of course.
To be honest, we are in holiday.
You are holiday. Oh, no, so you are free. You are free now.
Tomorrow also is a holiday. Yeah, the middle autumn mooncake day.
It's always holiday. China always holiday. I went there and then a holiday, nobody around. So I back to Indonesia again. Okay, thank you very much, all of you. See you on Thursday.
So see you.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, see you Thursday. See you Thursday.
See
Thank you for your
Thank you.
participation.
Thank
you, Dr. Man.
Thank you, Dewi, Bumika, siapa
See you
saja.
Thursday.
Saya nggak bisa
See you, see you,
menyebut
see
ini.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Yan.